This should be a quick and painless foldable covering a couple of problems that you will see in the future, covering distance. Let's get started. In example 1 on your foldable, a rock falls from an elevation of 88.3 feet high, and it falls into the creek. When it lands in the creek bed, it is currently 2.7 feet below the water surface. So what is the total distance the rock fell? So on your worksheet, I'm asking you for one to do write down what you are asked to find. So that'll be part A. We're asked to find the total distance that the rock fell. Okay, then for part B, what operation are you going to perform and why? So I want to go ahead and, before we get to this part, let's go ahead and draw a model of the situation before you actually answer anything else. Okay. So over here on the right side, in the solve drawing model column, we're going to draw a model of the rock. Okay, here's the rock. I'm sure you can draw a prettier rock than me, but that's currently at 88.3 feet high in the air. Here's the surface of the creek bed, that's at 0. Okay, and then below the surface it goes 2.7 feet. Okay, so here would be about 2.7 feet below the surface. So you have to figure out the total distance between those two numbers as if it were a number line. So the thing that you're going to do, the operation, is you're going to add, because you're going to find the distance below 0 with the distance above 0, and that's why you're adding. So for part B, let's go ahead and write adding. Because we're combining the distance below 0 with the distance above 0. And the fact that we are mentioning the word combining, okay, is basically a key word that we can use for adding. All right, now let's go ahead and perform the actual operation. So let's over here, let's show 88.3 plus 2.7. Since we are adding, we line up the decimals. 7 plus 3 is 10. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus the 1 is 11. And then 8 plus 1 is 9. So when we sum up our answer, we have to first repeat what it is we're finding, and we're also going to try and use the common or the key words in our actual problem. So we would say the total distance the rock fell is 91 feet. So basically I'm just reiterating what it is that we're finding and then tagging on the answer onto the end of it. Okay, and that whole entire thing is my answer. Alright, moving on to example 2. So pause this video, read the question, answer A and B to yourself, and then resume play for those answers, and I'll help you with solving and drawing a diagram. Okay, so check A. What you need to find is how much Timmy needs to deposit in order to reach the minimum balance. B, we're adding in order to combine the amount less than 0, which is negative $15.02, with the amount that he is needed in his bank account, which is $25. Now, guys, this is a real life situation. Your bank does not want your bank account to go less than a certain amount. So even though this situation is $25, if you go below $25, you get feed. So we want to make sure that we understand clearly what the bank is asking you so that you guys don't get charged a fee as well as trying to replace your money. Okay, so let's figure out how much Timmy needs to put in the bank so that he is at least $25 or above it, okay? So here, it's just like the distance thing. There is a total distance between $25 and negative $15.02. So we're going to add the two numbers together to figure out what that total distance is. Again, line the decimals up because the 25 does not show any place values holders for the change. I added 2 zeros in. So in this case, Timmy has to deposit $40.02 in order to reach the minimum balance. And that is usually the case for all banks. All right, problem number 3. Let me fill in the rest of the numbers here. We have the Coast Guard jumps out of a helicopter, hovering 5 1/6 meters above the water in the air, and they need to jump into the water to rescue an object that is 2 1/3 meters below the water surface. What is the total distance the Coast Guard descends? So pause the video, answer A and B, and try and draw the diagram for your guided notes, please, and then resume play when you want your answers. Okay, here's your answers for A and B and the diagram. Go ahead and pause the video and get those before we actually find the answer. Okay, at this time you should have gotten down all of what's written on the screen onto your foldable, and right now we're actually going to solve the problem. So by adding 5 1/6 plus 2 1/3. So we need to find the common denominator between 6 and 3, which happens to be 6. So let's go ahead and keep the 5 1/6, but we're going to change the fraction part of the next number. The common denominator was 6, so 3 goes into 6 2 times. 2 times the 1 in order to adjust the numerator. Now we're going to add the whole numbers and add the fractions. So 5 plus 2 is 7. 1 plus 2 is 3 over 6. Let's go ahead and simplify the fraction part of it. We can divide by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So let's go ahead and sum up this problem by saying the total distance descended by the Coast Guard is 7.5 meters. All right. Go to the next screen. So there, on that document that I had put on Google Classroom, we're going to refer back to that document, but I only want you to do 3 problems. Then these 3 problems are just like the ones that we just did in our foldable, okay? So make sure you find problems 7, 9, and 13. Complete them on a separate sheet of paper, and then when you are done, I will give you the answer sheet so you can check your answers to make sure you got them correct. If you have any questions, let me know.